Hey Hogan, how's it doing? Hogan, first question about the president's tweet.
Lynching is a very low
Hogan, first question about the president's tweet.
So how do you get lynching?
As soon as you look up, first question about the president's tweet.
Hold on.
First question, Hogan, if we can. Do you understand why the president could not possibly be a victim of a lynching?
I'm sorry?
Do you understand why the president couldn't possibly be the victim of a lynching?
Yeah, but the president's not comparing what's happened to him with one of our darkest moments in American history.
What's he doing?
He's just not. What he's explaining clearly is the way he's been treated by the media since he announced for president.
Hogan, you know that's not true, and I know that's not true. He used the word lynching, which has a dark record in America's history. 47,000,
the day
4,700
he
deaths.
was elected and before he was even sworn into office. Let's not talk about that. And I understand that there are many people in the media who don't agree with his language. But
lawmakers as well, not in the media,
right?
Sir.
And he has used many words to describe the way he has been relentlessly
So
attacked.
why use the word
93%
lynching,
of the
understanding?
news coverage against him is negative. Let's talk about what the president's actually
Well, can
done.
you at least admit that
you're from
lynching is
South
a bad
Carolina. You're
word?
from South
Can you at
Carolina.
least
You
say
know the
that lynching
history of
is
that word?
Yes.
Will you condemn lynchings?
Again, the president was clearly articulating the way he feels about the way you guys have been treating him from day one. If you want to talk about what the president has actually done for the African American community, I'd love to have that conversation.
The president. With respect, I didn't raise the word lynching. With respect, he used the word lynching.
There are many things. Impeachment in this particular instance, he is receiving no due process, as many of you know. Every single one of your reports start with behind closed doors, comma. He is not receiving due process. We all are aware of the situation in which Democrats
He hasn't even been
are taking
indicted
him
yet.
behind closed doors,
He hasn't been
releasing
impeached.
selective things, not in context, trying to attack and destroy this president.
Hogan,
The
do you
fact is,
understand
he's
why?
been-
But do you
Are you
understand
African
why
American?
lynching is a
Country
bad
upset right
word?
The
now?
fact is, he has been relentlessly attacked by the mainstream media since before he took office. That's what the
Do
president.
you,
Hogan,
do you understand why
Every
lynching?
African American in this country is furious right now.
What the president has done for the African American community is something no other president has been able to accomplish in my lifetime.
So, but you can't
Birtherism,
understand
go
why
back to
they're
your
upset
home
and
country,
comparing
Charlottesville.
his situation to
People are
lynching.
upset about President Trump's words all of the time. But what you can't argue with are the results he's put forth for the African American community, whether we're talking about opportunity zones in their cities, whether we're talking about criminal justice reform, which is something Barack Obama wanted forever, the Democrats clamored for, but only Donald Trump was able to deliver, and the fact that his economic policies have resulted in record low unemployment in African American communities.
Hogan, I'm sorry.
All of that
You're glossing over the fact that this is a new level.
Hogan,
This is a new level of outrage, Hogan.
Can
You can't
comment on the
rely. You
meeting
can't respect
between
that.
Putin and Erdogan and the notion that Russia is moving into the vacuum that the U.S. is leaving?
Repeat the first part.
Can you comment on the meeting between Putin and Erdogan and the notion that Russia is filling in the vacuum that the U.S. is leaving?
Well, that's what we're trying to avoid. The president went into these national security issues wide-eyed, and now you see even some who are his detractors, like Lindsey Graham, for example, now coming out saying it's optimistic, because the president was clear when he ran for president. What he wanted to do was secure those regions, finish the missions, and bring our troops home.
But that's
That's
not what's
exactly what
happening.
he's trying to do. He still wants to keep forces behind to protect the oil, to ensure stability in the region, and today
He said
is the
troops are coming
final,
home, no?
and today is the final day of the ceasefire. We expect that temporary ceasefire, that temporary de-escalation, to transition into permanent by the end of the afternoon. And the president takes this very seriously, as you all know, because he sent a delegation headed up by the Vice President of the United States to secure a historic deal between two warring sides for hundreds of years. They came back with that deal, and we're monitoring it very closely because we do want peace and stability in the region, and we want to maintain the gains we've had. He's the one who defeated ISIS, the caliphate, 100%, and we want to make sure they don't make
Are you saying black Americans? I'm sorry, Hogan. Are you saying black Americans should suck it up because the economy is good?
All right, back on the tweet. Why doesn't the president tweet about the economy, about his accomplishments? Why does he keep going back to racial animus?
I don't understand.
Lynching. Why is he including that in his tweet? He does it intentionally. He does it repeatedly. He goes back to these dark times in our history. Why?
He's not comparing himself
Yes,
to those
he
dark.
is.
He's
Okay.
not comparing himself to those dark times. Let's be
Then
very
why did
clear
he
about
use
what
the
he's
word?
doing.
Why use the
He
word?
is receiving zero due process from Democrats on the Hill. That's what he's talking about. It's very clear.
He's not
And you
being
guys-
hanged from a tree.
It is.
It's
It
a
is.
constitutionally enshrined process.
It is very clear. You understand as well as I do that whether it was Nixon or whether it was Clinton, everyone was given due process in this situation, but they refused to give it to Donald Trump.
Would you, Hogan?
Are we going to
just-
talk about something else?
Yeah, let me ask you about Hogan. Can I ask you about Syria? Hogan, can I ask you about Syria quickly? In regards to Syria, he has said repeatedly that he's bringing troops home, yet they aren't home. Is he bringing them home soon? And just a follow up. Would you choose that word? Would you?
First question first. The president does want to ultimately bring all of these troops home. That was his goal when he ran for office. That's what he wants to do now. But he also wants to ensure stability in the region. He wants the de-escalation to stay where it is now. The ceasefire is working. We're hoping it
Opposite is
becomes
happening.
permanent. But the fact is, you have to keep some people over there. He understands that. He's
But
running
Iraq
this-
doesn't
he's-
want
he's
those
making-
leaders. They've
he's
said
making these
they don't want the
decisions.
soldiers
He's the
there.
one that has the responsibility, and it is a heavy one.
Well,
to protect American citizens overseas, to protect our assets, our friends, our partners and allies, and the American
And a
people.
follow up.
The
I
president-
understand that. And wait a minute, a follow up. I understand.
Has the White House anything? Has the White House anything to say about the electoral fraud allegations on Bolivia's president?
Continue. On
That's
Bolivia's
it.
president?
The electoral fraud allegations against Bolivia's president Evo Morales. That's the
I've
White
not
House
seen the
anything to
allegations, but I
have
have
to
to look
say?
into it.
Hogan on Syria.
He wants to de-escalate. Why did he remove
President feel that
people in?
Republicans aren't unified? He complained about it yesterday.
Why does he feel they're not unified? Well, look, I think it's pretty obvious when the Democrats have done what they've been able to do, which is run a sham impeachment on this president. They've attacked him from day one. If his name was President Smith, they'd be giving him all the credit in the
What
world.
does he want
And there
Republicans
are
to do?
and there are plenty of Republicans who feel a lot of pressure. But the fact is, the Democrats are in the wrong here, and the Republicans are on the best ground. And the ground is a fake, phony, false impeachment hearing.
Respectfully,
But all,
though, what does he want them to do? How would they show unity?
well, look, President Trump's a fighter, and he fights back when he's attacked, especially in this instance when he's attacked even in the midst of all these successes. He thinks everyone should fight back. It's a time to stand tough and stand against the lack of due process. It's time to stand up for all the successes that we've seen in this administration. It's time to stand against the ridiculous and foolhardy ideas of the Democrat Party that is only going to take us backwards. And that's what he's talking about when he wants people to move.
Are you saying Black Americans should just deal with it? Are you saying Black Americans should just deal with it because the economy is good?
Should the president not have used it? Do you disagree with Senator Scott?
Would you use
What
it?
did read Senator Scott? What did Senator
He
Scott
said
say?
that he would not
president
have
should
used the
not have
word
used that
lynching.
word.
Well, but look, Senator Graham said it was a perfect word. The fact is, many people
Senator
disagree.
Scott's the only
Many-
African-American Republican.
many- Right, and he's one of my friends. I've
Correct.
known him now for over a decade.
So he
you
says not a good
disagree
choice
with
of
that?
words. Do you agree it's not a good choice
But
of words,
people
Hogan?
disagree with what President Trump says all the time. I would urge people to focus on what he's accomplished for the American people.
You don't think this is a new level?
Everything he says gets scrutinized and picked apart by both sides. But the fact is, the accomplishments he's had for the American people, whether it's African American unemployment, Asian American unemployment, Hispanic American unemployment, whether you're white, black, brown, red, it doesn't matter. His policies have lifted all the votes in this country, and that is the story.
But would you use the word? Hogan, would you use the word?
Hogan, would you concede this is just a distraction? Hogan, is this intended as a distraction?
Nice try.